Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Finn Balor returns. Kurt Angle's the new Raw GM. The Revival got called up. Evil Emma is back. Roster trades have been announced. And if that wasn't enough, Beach Baller Mania ran wild. I'm Ollie Davis and this is the 3rd of April 2017 post-WrestleMania edition of Monday Night Raw in about 4 minutes. The crowd opened the show with a 2-minute long Undertaker chant in honor of the dead man's retirement, which slowly and organically transitioned into Roman sucks. Taking his cue, the big dog himself came out to tend to his newly acquired yard. The crowd booed, chanted "F you, Roman," "Delete," "You suck," "Roman sucks," "Shut the F up," "Asshole," and go away for 8 minutes while Reigns just stood there. Finally, on the 3rd time of bringing the microphone to his lips, Roman merely said, "It's my yard now," and walked off. Michael Cole explained, tonight is the post-Mania crowd, full of non-traditional WWE fans. By non-traditional WWE fans, I assume he means those who won't accept your promotion's ineffective force-feeding of a miscast top babyface. After making their WWE return the previous night at WrestleMania, Matt and Jeff Hardy successfully defended their newly won Raw Tag Team Championships against Luke Gallows and Galanderson. I forgot how much I've missed watching Jeff wrestle. He somehow makes it look like he's coming up with what to do next on the spot, like he's poetry in motion off the steel steps. It's still unclear whether the Hardys are broken or extreme. Even on the post-Mania Raw, the cruiserweights still aren't over, with the crowd getting distracted by a beach ball somewhere off camera. They got into the match for the finishing sequence, where Neville brilliantly teased the Red Arrow but instead won with the Rings of Saturn submission. Vince McMahon announced a superstar shake-up for next week's Raw, which will likely be a few roster trades rather than a full-on draft. And with Stephanie McMahon recovering from injury, the new general manager of Raw will be this year's Hall of Fame inductee, Teddy Long. It was a good gag, holla holla. Vince told Teddy to go away and then introduced Kurt Angle, who cut a wonderfully brief promo for a Raw Authority figure, simply saying, "It's great to be on Monday Night Raw. It's true. It's damn true." Kurt's subsequent backstage skits were all brilliant. In another thankful use of brevity, the New Day cut a short in-ring promo and then made an open challenge. The Revival answered to a thunderous reaction, kicking over the New Day's ice cream cart like true heels. The longest ever WWE Tag Champs versus the longest ever NXT Tag Champs. With Matt and Jeff also on Monday nights, Raw's tag division went from the same few teams over and over again to being delightful. As if Raw wasn't stacked enough already, Emma returned. Kind of. Maybe it's called re-debuting or repackaging. I'm not sure what's happened with Emma. I'm just glad she's back. Just her being in this 6-woman tag made Raw's very stale women's division feel fresh again. Charlotte tapped to Sasha in a good TV match, after which Nia Jax beat Flair up, hinting the Queen's getting traded to SmackDown. Paul Heyman informed the crowd, "We won't be seeing Goldberg around here anymore." Unless you watched the post show, in which case you would have definitely seen Goldberg. So the Beast needs a new challenger. The 2 in 23 and 2, starting the build to the reported WrestleMania 34 main event between Brock and Roman Reigns next year. Instead, Braun Strowman came down to challenge Lesnar, giving him a shove and then walked off. Kurt made this Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match after Enzo and Big Cass claimed Sheamus and Cesaro were SAWFT soft, leading Kurt to have the best line of the night. That's not how you spell soft. Enzo and Cass ended up losing though, hinting they're off to SmackDown too, which is probably for the best as Sheamus will have a much better match with the Hardys. Kurt made this Sami Zayn versus Jinder Mahal match when the two argued backstage. Sami won. After a fun backstage Chris Jericho interview, Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe took out Y2J, presumably writing him off TV for the next few months while he tours with Fozzy. Kurt needed to find Seth a new teammate, and for a moment, it looked like WrestleTalk favourite multi-time champion Vacant would be added to the match. Instead, as everyone already figured out, Finn Balor made his WWE return after being out from injury since last August. longest, making all 4 men in this match former NXT champions. There were multiple storylines running through this tag, some good like Owens and Balor's history over the Universal title, Samoa Joe having taken out Seth Rollins, and Joe and Owens' Ultra Unit faction, and others not so good. Like, how was Seth medically cleared to compete after his unsanctioned match just the night before? You know, the one where nobody would allow him to wrestle. And that Rollins and Balor should probably hate each other. The 4 had a solid TV main event, which Balor won, pinning Owens after a coup de grace. So that was this week's Raw in about 4 minutes. Here's the usual ratings recap from top to bottom in order: core, average, poor, and bore. This week's Raw is, and it's something I never thought I'd say for a 3-hour episode, in awe. That's right, the highest possible rating has finally been bestowed. The Revival's call-up, Kurt Angle becoming Raw GM, Evil Emma and Finn Balor's returns. The actual wrestling was average, but the angles made this a much-needed piece of fan service. This is not without criticism, however. Like WrestleMania 33 the previous night, Raw is still too long. The Rollins continuity was very patchy, and Goldberg's post-show promo should have been on TV. What did you all think? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to vote in the poll above my head to give it your own rating. I'll announce the results on tomorrow's WrestleTalk news. Watch my review of the 7-hour WrestleMania in just 4 minutes, which I do by speaking very quickly, and find out the latest on more potential NXT call-ups by clicking the videos to the left and subscribe. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.